Hello, hello. All right. It seems we finally have some viewers, so I can start talking. But anyways, today I decided to basically do just this laid back stream with really like not that much of an agenda. I mostly want to work on some stuff and maybe answer some questions. Talk to you guys if you are into it, if you're online, if you want to watch. I know this is for most folks, this is probably a meetings hour, but yeah, let's just see what happens. Okay. So, these days I'm working on a couple of things. One of them being this application. So, some of you may know that I work for a company called Replay, and we're building this tool, this vibe coding tool that's called Nut. And we've been making a decent progress over past couple of weeks, and it's gotten really better. So right now what I'm working on is I'm trying to build an alternative to basic workspace products. And I decided to build a Slack alternative. And this is how that looks like so far. So it's been doing pretty good. I can send messages and receive messages. I can go to my settings and I have my profile here. And I can see the profile pictures of images of people. So that's cool. But I want it to do better. And right now, I want it to fix a problem. And fixing a problem, that's the hard part, right? When we try to fix a problem in a vibe coding tool, usually it is something that takes a long time. These tools are not able to get it. But what I'll try to do is to see if we are able to get it. What I want to have is when I go to settings and change my name to, I don't know, not Verstappen, and I save my changes, I want those changes to be reflected in the messages that I've sent or that I'm sending. Hello, I'm Max. So when I send a message, it should display my new name, but it doesn't. So that's no good thing. So I'm going to try to instruct it to fix this problem. when I go to settings, wait, does this work? Oh, it does. It just doesn't do the animation. When I go to settings and change my profile name, after I save the changes, these are not reflected in the conversation window in this area. I'm not sure if I should call it conversation window, but what I can do is I have this target icon and I can target different elements. So let's just, it's called conversation view. So let's go conversation view. And usually what I do, or at least what I try to do when I work on stuff, is I try to, when interacting with it, I try to not just give it what's not working, but how it is supposed to work. So I want the name to change immediately after profile is updated. I should see the updated name for all the messages that I sent. So let's see what happens. Sorry. And in the meantime, maybe we could create another application. I'm going to open the sidebar and create a new app and just have it in my other tab. Recently, I've stumbled upon a nice little LinkedIn post. Let me find that. Here we go. Wait, no, oops. I copied the message from Discord as well. That's not what I wanted. So here's Cal Rueb. I don't know his name, but there was an interesting thread here. Like, one regular complaint we get from teams building coding tools and app builders is that Claude does not produce visually interesting front ends. Claude will create web pages and apps that visually are bland and repetitive, typically overusing the color purple and heavy use of emojis. There was a whole video by Syntax FM on this, like everything looks purple. So my teammate dug into this feedback and quickly found that yes, this is a real issue. However, with some thoughtful prompting, you can get Claude to produce much richer outputs. He wrote a cookbook capturing those learnings and includes a set of instructions to put in your prompt that produces much better results. Check it out here. So let's check it out. And in here, this is basically just like a notes file, but I wanted to dive into this and theoretically try to use this prompt in my vibe coding. But basically what I did last time when I worked on this application, let me refresh this because we have this annoying bug where even if it's building stuff, then you don't see the progress being shown. Huh. Where's my message? Well, this is not good. I mean, this it seems like my message has gotten away. Well, let me get back to the point I was making. What I did with that previous application when I started working on it, I basically just copied this prompt and see what comes out next. And I was actually kind of nicely surprised how how that went, but I want to dig a little bit into this. Front-end aesthetics, prompting guide, right from Claude cookbooks. So Claude can generate high-quality front-ends, but without guidance intends towards generate conservative designs. This guide shows you how to prompt Claude to produce more distinctive, polished output. Prompting for better outputs. Claude has strong knowledge of design principles, typography, and color theory, but defaults to safe choices, unless explicitly encouraged otherwise. Through experimentation, we found 3 strategies that consistently produce better results. First, guide specific design dimensions. Direct Claude's attention to typography, color, motion, and backgrounds individually. Reference design inspirations. Suggest sources like IDE themes and cultural aesthetics without being overly prescriptive. Call out common defaults. Explicitly tell Claude to avoid its tendency toward generic choices. The prompt below applies this strategy across 4 design areas. Okay, so the prompt. To implement these changes, you can append this prompt section to your system prompt or to your Claude MD file. The Stilt aesthetics prompt. Front-end aesthetics. You tend to converge towards generate on distribution output. In front-end design, this creates what users call AI slop aesthetic. Avoid this. Make creative, distinctive front ends that surprise and delight. This is interesting though, because what I have been hearing is that ideally you should not tell AI what not to do. It's much better what it should do. And I mean, like, there's of course example sections where you need to make distinctions between like do's and don'ts, but it's interesting that this is starting with almost like an instruction. Like, you tend to converge towards generate on distribution outputs. Like, I would, like, my instinct tells me to not put this as a first sentence because it sounds like an instruction. But I mean, who am I to say? Like, these guys made Claude, probably know what they're doing. But I thought that was interesting. So let's focus on typography. Choose fonts that are beautiful, unique, and interesting. That's fairly subjective. What is this prompt? Avoid generic fonts like Arial and Inter. Opt instead for distinctive choices that elevate front-end's aesthetics. Color and theme. Commit to cohesive aesthetic. Use CSS variables for consistency. Dominant colors with sharp accents outperform timid, evenly distributed palettes. Pro IDE themes and cultural aesthetics. Draw from IDE themes and cultural aesthetic for inspiration. Man, this is a crazy prompt. It's questioning a lot that I try, the lot of ways that I try to think about interacting with AI. Motion. Use animations for effects and micro interactions. Prioritize CSS-only solutions for HTML. Use motion library and for React when available. Focus on high impact moments. One well-orchestrated page. Load with staggered reveals. Animation delay creates more delight than scattered micro interactions. Backgrounds. Create atmosphere in depth rather than defaulting to solid colors. Layer CSS gradients. Use geometric patterns or contextual effects that match the overall aesthetic. Avoid AI-generated aesthetics, overused font families, cliched color schemes, predictable layouts, component patterns, cookie-cutter design that lacks context-specific character. Interpret creatively and make unexpected choices that feel genuinely designed for the context. Vary between light and dark themes, different fonts, different aesthetics. You will tend to converge on common choices. You still tend to converge on common choices across generations. Avoid this. It is critical that all that you think outside the box. This is a wild prompt. I mean, I wouldn't write it like this. Went off. Just a second. Yeah, I don't think so. Pretty sure it was some telemarketer. Oh yeah. Yeah, I had a call with them yesterday. Super annoying. Never mind. So, okay, so here are the results. And I have to say, like, okay, this is nice. This is the difference, right? On the right side, you can definitely see the tool being more creative. So, yeah. Should we try it? Here we go. We got like isolated prompting, typography only, theme constraint. Interesting. I'm intrigued to just, for the sake of it, copy this and paste it into Nut, but I'm not sure. All right, so as I said, we're going to be, I'm kind of on a journey of creating these workspace app clones. So I am working on Slack, which, I don't know, this seems to be frozen. I'll better report this to the team. But let's try again. Not again. Let's try something else. And I want to take a stab at Notion. But I always found Notion to be like, it's good on many levels, and I think number one is the fact that Notion is super simple, but it can also get incredibly complex. And it allows you to both be very simple and very complex. But I have always found myself in this weird middle ground where I find it too complex to do simple things and too simple to do complex things. I don't know if you get me, but I don't know if that even makes sense. But just something just rubs me wrong with about Notion. So I'm going to create something less than Notion. I'm going to try to create a note-taking app that supports Markdown and code highlighting, and I think that might just be it. So create a note-taking application that supports Markdown syntax with code highlighting. I want to be able to add images too. What else? We'll just think of the other stuff later. And now I'm going to paste in that front-end aesthetics prompt. Just append that to my initial prompt. But I'm really not sure I would like to rewrite this. Just like avoid, let's do avoid generic on distribution aesthetic. Instead, make creative, distinctive front ends that surprise and delight. Focus on typography. I think that's fine. Commit to it. All right. Dominant colors, motion, backgrounds. Avoid AI generated aesthetics. Yeah, we'll see what happens with this. Break creatively. Like this part I feel like putting away. You still tend to converge on common choices. I don't know why is this here? I want to understand it better, but I still kind of want to avoid it. So let's get building. Alright. Great. I have clear understanding. That's good. And now we have some choices to make. So not what it does, it'll ask you to sort of refine the plan. That is what like many vibe coding tools nowadays do. They, like, everyone knows that without a good plan, you're not able to deliver a good app. So we're trying to kind of help you with that. To, you know, make sure that the plan is actually well-rounded. Because like my plan was create a note-taking app with Markdown support, and that's it. That's not much of a plan. So what are we going to do? How should nodes be organized and accessed? I mean, I think I'm going to go with a simple list view. I think Apple Notes would be the greatest note-taking software if they just supported Markdown. I don't know why they avoid that. Not even Markdown, to be honest, just like code highlighting. It's so annoying that you would like to have a place where you can paste code snippets, and just it doesn't work in Apple Notes. Like, Apple, why? Anyways, folder category system, tag-based system. So tag-based systems is something that Bear Notes do, and I never understood it. Like, instead of having folders or something, you just add a tag at the end or maybe at the beginning of your note. I don't think that makes sense. But I guess everyone has their own preferences. So hybrid approach. Maybe let's just start simple and we'll see where we land. Here we go. Seems like we have the plan. So Markdown editor, image upload, using upload thing. All right. Simple chronologic alphabetical list of all nodes. How are you going to sort them by alphabet? You're going to just take the first node. I guess we'll see. Built-in authentication system. Not sure about that. Okay, let's keep it that way. Structure, single page application, clean list interface. Each node, no complex navigation, distinctive, adhesive color, blah blah blah. All right, let's start building now. We'll see what happens. All right. while we wait, I actually want to go to Twitter. Interesting about this cookbook. I think I heard about it. Wait, is this Anthropics? Why is their organization name called Anthropics instead of Entropic? I almost thought it's something else. It's like not the same. Same thing. Cookbook. Hey. Okay. Alright, sprinkling a bit of magic, putting it all together. Thinking about your idea. Yeah. So while we wait, we can go on a little bit of a tangent. So, with some videos, Claude Codes, yes. I made this post and it went like pretty viral. Well, viral according to like my reach, but I've been really impressed by Claude Code and what it can do, and I decided to like go and use it for something else than creating an application. So instead I was just fixing issues on my Mac. I know this is like some people like don't even like that idea of making Claude Code run freely across your computer. I found that to be okay. Like, I haven't given it privileges to anything that I wouldn't like it to have privileges for. So I decided to like fix some issues. For example, I optimized my terminal. It was taking 3 seconds to open, and now it turns like a split second because I had some weird settings in my Z shell RC file, and it fixed that. I also had like installation duplications. Like sometimes I would use Homebrew, sometimes I would use some other method to install a piece of software, and I had some duplicates like Python. I had so many installations of Python. Because I'm not really a Python person, but every time I need Python, I have an instruction to install it, so I do. And I know it's kind of dumb, but that's what I did. Then I had like a custom color theme, so I'm using Cursor a lot. And when there's a when you open Cursor for the first time, it allows you to migrate everything, and that just makes the transition from VS Code to Cursor so smooth. And it's great, but one thing that did not get migrated was I had this theme. By the way, shout out to Monokai Pro. Amazing theme. This is what I use for everything. I love it so much. I don't know why. It just like, it works really well for me, and I've been enjoying it. And I bought this theme. And if you have the means, please support the developers. They're great. Wait, do they still sell it, or is it? Yeah, VS Code. Yeah, you can purchase that. Yeah, so go ahead and purchase that. It's a great theme. I think I use this Octagon. Yeah, this is my setup, my filter. So what I did when I migrated to Cursor was that, of course, everything got migrated, but that license for that thing did not. and I did not feel like buying a separate copy just for the cursor because I don't think that's how that works. But I was able to tell Claude like, hey, I actually have a license key somewhere. Can you please find it for me? And I was able to find it, and I migrated that, and that was great. And then stuff like cleaning up, uninstalling applications, and all the Adobe bloatware that I had on my computer. I removed some audio inputs and outputs and stuff like that. By the way, I think I don't have. Yeah, oops. I realized I'm not using the proper audio. Okay, I fixed that now. The sound should be much better now. I realized I'm not using my proper sound card. Never mind. But yeah, I had some like leftovers inputs and outputs on my Mac. So I removed those because I wouldn't be able to figure it out on my own. I cleaned up my desktop, and I did like a lot of other things with Claude Code. I've been seriously very impressed by its capabilities. Let's see where the node editor is. Oh, looks like we're using a Ukraine theme, which is fine. Not in the light mode, only in the dark mode. But yeah, we're building. We're testing image upload, node editing. Yeah, we're pretty close to the result within a couple of minutes. So that's great. We'll see how well things will go. And it's called my note-taking application Lexicon, which is fun. Anyways, in your chat, if you're in the chat, say hello. Let me know what you've been up to. Have you used any tool like this? Doesn't have to be Nut. Can be Lovable, Bolt, Replit. Still not sure what happened over here. Why is my chat stuck? But you know what? I'm just going to copy that. And we actually have built our own issue tracker with Nut, and we are starting to use it internally. And we'll see what happens here. All right. Are we still building? Yeah, we're still building. We're just running tests for this. This is already starting to look like an app. It is not beautiful, but we'll make it so. New note, node list. Yeah, we're going to change this up a little bit, but we're off to a good start. I think so. Hello. It says it's saving the note. Maybe I shouldn't be interacting with this while it's still building. But oh, here's the H1 support. Yeah, I would still like it to do that automatically. But we're getting somewhere. Yeah, okay. I'm going to start writing down the things I want to change. So I want the list. So it seems like here's a list of all the notes. Here are some like statistics, I guess. Average length, 0 words. That's interesting. I haven't asked for this, but kind of fun. So I want the list of the notes and the statistics to be on its own page. And then I want to have a create note button that would navigate me to the page where the editor is. So What are these elements? These are status card grid. All right, I want the status card grid, and that's probably the list, yeah. And the list to be on its own page. On the top of the page, place a new note button that will navigate to a new note page with the editor toolbar with the rich text editor. And I think this part is kind of interesting, right? Because what we have here is, I had some idea of what a note-taking application might look like. In my mind, I had Apple Notes, or maybe the old versions of Evernote in my mind. That's what I wanted to build. But this is not what AI has decided to build. It has decided to cram everything together on one single page, which I cannot blame it for doing, because that's not something I have specified. And now I'm sort of specifying in more detail what I want. And that is, of course, I think that kind of resembles how software is being made, right? Because even if you have a good direction, even if you think it through, and of course it depends on the company, but oftentimes when you have a idea of a feature you want to deliver, that idea shifts and forms and changes as you go and get that first feedback from users. And maybe even before that, when you realize, oh, we haven't thought this through, we need to shift stuff around. And I know that like spec driven development has been going on, has been getting some traction lately, and I think that idea is interesting. But whenever I tried to build something, for example with Cloud Code, and I had my plan laid out before a single line of code was written, I realized midway that, oh, there's actually a bunch of little stuff that I did not figure out, and that led me to sort of try to, rethink how I construct my plan. Because I had, spec number 1, or not spec, like task number 1, task number 2, 3, 4, 5 to 12, 24 or whatever. And suddenly in the middle, I have to cram like 3 more tasks and give them nonsensical numbers like 4.2, 4.3, which doesn't make sense because they're out of scope of that task number 4, but they still need to be done before we do number 5. And I think there's something interesting in approaching, in building an application and in trying to plan it. Like, you can have a pretty good plan at the beginning, but in my experience, that plan sometimes gets very, very messy. In fact, I might have a very good example of that. I'm building an application. It's called SocialCal, and it's my own Buffer. Buffer? Buffer is a great app. It's what the SocialCal is. Let's not go to publish. Let's just go to Buffer. Basically allows you to connect your accounts, your social media accounts, and plan your posts. Really great piece of software. but I always found that I'm not sure if I like their pricing. So I always find it to be like, I'm not that active on social media, but whenever I post something, I want to at least try to post that on everywhere where I am. So LinkedIn, Instagram, what else do I have? Twitter, and maybe some others, you know, Blue Sky maybe, and I don't know what else. And you pay for channels, and it's just like, all right, now I have like 6 channels, and I don't want to be paying $30 a month. That's too much for me as an individual. I guess, I don't know. Maybe I should consider that. But I've been building my own version of that, and I have like a whole implementation roadmap going on. Oops, did not want to do that. And that implementation roadmap has like everything in it, all of the tasks, you know, like initialize everything, configure, whatever. And I'm at, where am I? Git setup. Yeah, phase 0. I have phase 0, phase 2, phase 2.6, phase 2.7. What I'm trying to say is that I have these little sub phases going on which don't really make sense. And every time I update my plan, I go tell Claude, hey, so summarize everything that we've been doing, and please like reflect that in the implementation roadmap and all the docs that we had so far. And when I think about it, it's probably how software should be, right? You're supposed to be writing documentation for the code you've written, and now I have Claude doing that, which I guess it's kind of fine. I just want to show you the app, how it looks. Wait, npm run dev actually. Look, it's beautiful. It's actually not, but it is something. This is something I created with Claude Code, and you know, I can have my calendar, and I can, where's my plus button? It's not, there should be a plus button on hover, but it's just showing on click for like a very split second. Something broke, never mind. But you know, I can plan my post, and I can post that to Twitter. I don't have any other social media yet, and I can upload my files, and you know, click here and upload an image. And eventually I want to have all of the other networks. And what's kind of fun is that I do everything locally. So everything is running locally, which means I still kind of have to figure out why sorry, it means I still kind of have to figure out how will I schedule posts when when my computer is not running, more importantly when this application is not running. And I don't know, it's just an experiment, just something I've been playing with. I don't know if this will ever like be an application that I'll be using, but we'll see. Scheduler stopped. Like, it has some problems. Like, not gonna lie, this is not a thing that is fully working. It is vibe coded, if you will, and it has some flaws. So we're still building, we're still running some tests. So I'm not going to stack this up to the editor. And this one, yeah, this one's kind of stuck. Let's try to... Oh, one more thing. Hey, Audio Pilot, nice to see you. I have one more thing to show you. So speaking of scheduling social media posts, and speaking of things I've been using Claude for, so I've been experimenting with Claude Code, and I heard about a tool called Nathan, or N8N. I don't know how to properly read it. I just call it Nathan because I think like that was the intention, but I don't know. But so Nathan is this automation flow builder, kind of like Zapier, but I think it allows you to do a bit more and maybe more complex stuff. And I think like there are different. Zapier is more about integrating all kinds of different tools, and Nathan, I feel, is a bit more hacky. It's a bit more like tossing information around, transforming it, and doing all kinds of stuff. And I know, like, technically you could probably use it for scheduling social media posts. I haven't been able to figure it out so far. And plus, I think it would be really nice if I could have something that has a calendar, so I can see all of my posts scheduled. And this is more of a flow builder. It doesn't, when it comes to UI, there's nothing more than these flows. So you can run a trigger, or you can run on schedule, or you can run on some event, and stuff like that, but it doesn't really have like a UI. Technically this is a UI, but I would like to have a calendar. That's all I'm saying. A content calendar where I can see all of my videos and posts and images that I plan to post. And so far Buffer is just the best for this, and everything else is kind of meh. But what I did with Claude Code is I was able to run my local instance of Nathan on my NAS. So I have like an external hard drive that is connected to my network, and that external hard drive, it's a NAS system. I don't know what NAS stands for. What does NAS stand for? Is that going to find a wrapper? No. Okay, network attached storage. Yes, network attached storage, that's what it is. So I use that to run basically a Docker image on for Nathan, and this is completely available to me on my network whenever I need it, and it's running the whole time, right? So if I want to create a workflow where, let me make this a little bigger. If I want to create a workflow, and the first step of that workflow is going to be schedule, right? Then it will run even if I'm not on my computer. That's kind of nice. So maybe this could be a way of scheduling social media posts, but I don't know. Anyways, go back to my editor. This is this getting stuck? What's going on here? A test failed. Okay. So this is what Nut is doing, right? So when you're building stuff with vibe coding, you're sort of just like left to the mercy of the tool, right? If the tool does a good job, then you have a great experience, right? If the tool doesn't do a good job, then you're into debugging and like pasting errors from console into the chat, trying to like beg for the AI to fix the problem. And the problem there is that most of the times you don't really like the error in the console is just a symptom. It's sort of like going to the doctor, telling them about your symptoms, and then trying to get help just for that symptoms, and but not addressing the root cause of that, right? Uh, you know, it's like I have some neck pain right now. I can be taking painkillers. The root cause of that is the way I sleep. Not a lot and on my side all the time. With fixing errors in these AI tools, like pasting console logs is not going to get you there. You need to trace back to the function, to the component, to the root cause of the problem that triggers this behavior that for some reason like manifests as a bug, right? So what we do with Nut is when the application is created, we actually run it, right? And we generate Playwright tests on it. And once we have the results of those tests, we gather information, but not just like from the test and what it was trying to do and where it failed, but actually from the runtime of the application. And the reason why we are able to do that is because Replay has been building for a couple of years now a browser, debugging browser, and very powerful dev tools that can help you gather data from the runtime and you know, like provide that information back to the AI. So like here's actually the root cause of this problem and not just the error message that it threw up in the console. All right. Let's I don't know. I feel like this is taking a little bit too long, or maybe I'm just not patient. But I'll just wait. What do we have? Test failed. Oh, we actually have more running tests. Okay, so this is still running tests. And test image upload. Running tests. And you can see the flow here, right? Running test, test failed, fixing the test failure, running test failed, fixing the test failure. So like there is this feedback loop that's going on and it will fix the problems. Now, I'm not going to say it's working like 100% of the time, but it's getting so much better. And yeah, eventually I think it would make more sense to build something like this on your own than try to pay a subscription for a very expensive tool. Okay, I'm going to show you another app that we have built with Nut. One second. All right. So here's an issue tracker and this application is fully built with Nut. And we're using that sort of as a Jira or linear alternative. And here's and wait, I want to. So this part was stuck. So I want to report this. So application building got stuck, not reacting to my messages. I'm going to reference. Here's the ID of my chat. Just paste it in here. You can see like this also has a little bit of problems, but that's triage. Let's give it a medium. Let's keep it on medium. Let the triage friends confirm that. Create an issue. Voila, here we go. We have an issue. And we got it. That's how we work over at Replay. All right, so issue reported, and now we're still building, but we see okay, we still got like 3 processes going on. Resolving merge conflict. Okay. So that was also kind of an interesting part with resolving merge conflict. So we have, when you build an application with Node, it's actually like a couple of parallel processes running off and trying to create application. And of course, as they're working on the same repo, they're sort of rebasing and putting stuff together. And sometimes you need to resolve a merge conflict. So that's what's going on here. But it's crunching away. We can see like there are only three more processes going on. And when that'll be ready, I'll fire off the next message. Oh, so the service that I'm using, it's called Nut. Oops, I refreshed. So Nut.new. I'll just post it in the chat so you can use that. Here we go. I wonder if it's sent to LinkedIn as well, Michal. But I've sent it to YouTube and Twitch. But this is it, Nut. Basically Nut. Nice little cute name. So yeah, sorry, I just had to read a message. But yeah, the tool is called Nut, is built by a company called Replay. That's the company I work in, Replay.io. We've built a very powerful browser with very powerful debugging tools, and now we're using that to build apps. We have our own vibe coding tool called Nut. Sort of, if you have a bolt, you need a nut as well. And we're using that power of those browser tools, of that browser, to help you build an application. So yeah, try it out. If you're really interested, we have a builder plan available now. And if you want to get on a call and discuss what you would like to build, what's your intention, what are your goals with Nut, then you can get 1 month for free. So go ahead and try it out. And by the way, for if you don't want to like dive all in or purchase plan, then you can just like go over to Nut.new and build one application. And that one application, you can iterate on it as much as you want, I believe. And yeah, just try to see where it gets you. So we're still fixing some test failures. You know what? Maybe we could build another app. In the meantime, we can have some more. What else can we build in the workspace besides a Slack alternative and a notes-taking application? I'm thinking maybe email. Either email client or a calendar. Or what else is being used? Let's go with calendar. So build a Google Calendar alternative. Create a simple UI with subtle lines. I don't know. Very short prompt. I don't think like if you really want to build a good product, you should be as short, but that will help me plan it out. So thanks for the request, good understanding, let's go. So please select options that are more important to you. Creating and editing events with titles, times, and descriptions. Multiple calendar views, recurring events, yes. Even reminders and notifications, yes. Sharing calendars, yeah, everything is really important. This might be a pretty robust app. I mean, I guess there's a reason why there are not like that many calendar applications out there, because it's so freaking hard. I use Notion Calendar, which was previously called Cron, and Cron was really good, and after it was bought by Notion, it got a little worse for a while, and now it's pretty decent. I think Notion is trying to build like a workspace tooling. They have Notion Mail, which sucks. I don't like Notion Mail. It just looks too much like Notion. And why would you want to have your email looking like Notion? Like Notion is messy enough already. I say like not the biggest fan. But they're obviously doing things right. It's a matter of preference. I'm not here to trash Notion or their company or whatever. It's just I've either not like grown into habit of working with Notion so much that I would like it and enjoying working with it, or it's just not for me. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I know people love Notion, and I guess it's fine. Anyways, this is a lot of waiting around trying to build an app. Simple calendar. Let's see what it takes out. So I haven't put in the aesthetics prompt that I've used before, so we'll see what the difference will be. I mean, with this one, I don't think like we've done. I almost feel like the prompt was ignored. I mean, not really, but it's not spectacular. This thing is right out ugly, and I think that's just some background check didn't make it through, because we actually check whether the contrast ratios are working well. I think so, but this doesn't look too good. It'll be better. Okay, how are we doing over here? I have this song playing on the stream, and it's starting to drive me crazy. I mean, it's kind of like, it's lo-fi, it's nice, but also, why are we playing the same song over and over again? StreamYard, what's going on here? Ooh, I can actually upload the music. Oof, let's do that. Hopefully it's not going to you know, like run the music, run the same song in the loop, because this is. while we wait. I mean, the music isn't bad, but I don't want to be playing playing it on the loop. Let's go. Where's my music at? Here we go. I use Stream Beats. Stream Beats are good. Can you... Let's go. I am hoping this is going to... This is going to work, and is it actually going to loop? I don't know. I know you're not seeing this, and I'm not like showing you the stream beats, but the stream yard, sorry. But I'm trying to figure out how to play music, which is not going to drive me crazy. Anyways, this is still stuck. No, I don't think it's stuck. It's just it is in progress, but it's being in this loop. I guess the uploading image, test node deletion, the test is like going back and forth with fixing the issue, test node editing. I hope I didn't like break it because I started typing in. And here we have a login. We have calendar, and this is still in progress. There's a lot of things going on still, so we have that going on, and this one is just still where it was. Did my application break? Is everything breaking today? Yeah, this works, but I also had like an optimistic update already where I could see the message immediately. This is like far from perfect, but it's far from nothing as well. Hey Eduardo, what's up? We have a bit of a delay when it comes to the chat, so sorry about that. I think I might have I might have a solution for this, maybe. Yeah, because I do have my YouTube chat here, and where's my LinkedIn chat? Anyways, these are like a bit delayed. I've been on a stream with Rizelle Scarlett from Goose. She was streaming yesterday, but I didn't join that one. But she was streaming, I think, earlier this week, or was it late last week? I don't know. Things are blurry. But we discovered that like the LinkedIn has a huge delay. and YouTube as well. So then on Twitch it was actually pretty good. So yeah, if you want to have a fast interaction, then we can move it to over to Twitch. That'll probably be much better, but I'll keep it open. Alright, something's happening with our calendar app. Oh no, something went wrong. Yep, another bug report to show to our amazing team. And you'll never see that bug again. But it's still in progress. I'm pretty sure this page will go away at some point. This is taking frustratingly long time to finish. I already thought I'm going to be iterating over the next iteration. I wanted to take it further. I got your chat windows set up nicely here. Yeah. I think this is still going to take some time, and there's not really many people out here to chat with, so I think maybe take this offline and then hopefully pick it up next time. But this is how far we've got. It is a bit of a pity that we're not like getting further with this. Had an error and failed. Oops, something moved. No, not really. I thought we're going to show iteration, because the other day I've been building the application, the Slack one, and like after first try it did build a very good first attempt, and you know, it was kind of janky at times. You know, it had like things like this, right? The text field is like way too narrow and you need to make it bigger, and you need to move stuff around, and you want to add another section, and that was like a lot of fun to iterate over that, and see your application sort of transform to a better shape. But since we're waiting for way too long for this, I feel like maybe we can pick it up either tomorrow or the day after that, and see where we land with that. And I do want to continue this. Do want to see like how far can we actually get with a vibe coding strategy, because I have seen some really cool apps built with this, but there's this difference between having something being spat out with like a one-shot prompt and being able to iterate. So like no, I didn't want to open this. So 2 weeks ago we've been doing this vibe coding contest, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. What we did was a vibe coding competition where you could win $1,000. But what happened there was that we only gave our contestants 60 minutes to build something. And it's really fun to see what can you achieve in 60 minutes. Because 3 years ago, you would have your best developers, and in 60 minutes, they would achieve like not a lot, I would assume, right? I mean, we had some boilerplates like Next and npx create app or something like a React create app and stuff that would help you like do a pretty good scaffold, but you would still have to do a lot of work to connect the front end to the back end and have something that actually functions. And in this competition, we only had 60 minutes to build something, and it's been amazing how far we have got. But I think like the long-term effect, the long-term working on an application, even when it's done with this sort of approach where you're vibe coding, where you're not really reading the code, you're interacting with a code editor, if you will, just by posting your instructions. I think that is an interesting area to be exploring these days. Also, I want to give a shout out while we're talking about vibe coding competitions. So Goose is doing a no keyboards allowed competition, and I believe it ends this week. I think so. Yeah, and there are like 10,000 in total prize. So there's cash prize, there's like credits you can win, there's all kinds of stuff you can win. And you have up until November 14th. Alright, so only 2 more days. Today is 12th. So if you want to enter this, it's kind of fun. You need to use Goose to build whatever you want to build. And the rule is no keyboards allowed. I mean, you can use keyboard while you are building the stuff, but the thing you built should not have to be used by any keyboard. So you can use your voice, I guess you can use mouse, you can use camera gestures, you can use external hardware, whatever your fantasy allows. I guess that's allowed as well. So yeah, go ahead, try it out. You'll see where you'll get. Anyways, after all these shoutouts, I think I'm going to wrap this up. We've been up for almost an hour and a half, and that's usually good enough for me. Anyway, see you next time. Hopefully either tomorrow, later this week, or sometimes next week. I don't know yet, but you can follow my socials, and I'll meet you there. All right, bye everyone.